Good morning, everyone. All right, so the volume's actually pretty good in the market. We got a lot of gappers today. The first one I'm looking at mostly is BLIN. You can see this one's gapping up from 131 to 310, so over 100% here. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, sorry, guys, running a little bit late. Had to make myself some coffee. Good morning, Mitch. What's up, brother? Hey, Mitch, I'm gonna give you a call on Skype in just a second. Let the writers write. Good morning. Welcome, brother. Welcome. Adrian, good morning. Hindsight, good morning. Good morning, Covenant. I'll check my email, brother. NYC, good morning. What's up, Salty? Good morning, brother. JT, good morning. Pierre, good morning. All right, so you can see my biggest watches today. BLIN, like I said, over 100% gap. DFBG pulling up from 537 to 570. STAF was probably the biggest mover from yesterday. Gapping down a little bit in pre-market here, down to 470. OCX is moving good as well, gapping from 305 to 435. So a pretty strong gap. There's a lot more I'm watching really as well. SMMT. RSLS, SFIX, BBOX, SAEX gapping up some. So we actually got a lot of movers today. Let's see if any of these are actually tradable. That's the biggest thing I want to see. All right, so they did add STAF to TradeNet. That's good to hear. BLIN is tradable as well. Nice. DFBG should be too. DFBG is. OCX is not, so that's 1. SMMT is not, that's 2. RSLS is. SFIX is. BBOX. DCAR. And SAEX. Okay, so today's a pretty good day. Only 2 stocks out of 10 on my watch list are not tradable on TradeNet. 8 out of 10 of these stocks are able to trade on TradeNet, so that's good to see. I'll go ahead and post my watch list to the chat. Good morning, 7. What's up, brother? All right, so I'll go ahead and give Mitch a call as well. I did get my speaker fixed. I don't know what was going on with it yesterday, but I did get that fixed. I'll give Mitch a little bit of time to come back, and then I'll go ahead and give him a call. But yeah, I hope everybody's having a good Tuesday morning. I slowly start to drink my coffee. But yeah, so we're going to have to start looking at the news on some of these. Kind of a crazy move for BLIN. The market's actually been pretty volatile lately, compared to a lot of other summers. Like a lot of times during summertime, the volume is really low. And I mean, I can't say what it's going to be during market hours, but pre-market's pretty active today, with a lot of these cheap penny stocks that are under $10. A large majority of the stocks I'm watching are under $10, and so we'll see what we can get this morning. Good morning, TJ. What's up, brother? Good morning, Omar. What's up, guys? And so I'll start to look up to see why some of these are actually moving like they are. But it looks interesting here. But yeah, you can see BLIN has been riding the VWAP kind of all morning here. It continues to bounce off of that area as support, and it's kind of slowly pushing up here. STAF just spiked all the way up to about $5 even. Got rejected back down to 455. Since it's in pre-market, it's a little spready and a little choppy here. But watching STAF, see what it can do this morning. It's up so much already. I'm inherently short biased with it, but we'll see what it does. All right, so let's look up some of these stocks, see why they are in fact moving. The first one I'm looking up is LFIN. I feel like that one has the most volume, and I feel like that has the most volume this morning in pre-market. Or no, not LFIN, sorry, BLIN. All right, so it sounds like they signed a 3-year SaaS contract with a full-service bank. BLIN stands for Bridgeline Digital. The company secured a 3-year software as a service subscription to its Unbound digital experience platform with a full-service bank. And so basically a deal signed with BLIN. It's still a crazy move up here. That's 131 to 307. That's more than 100%. Just a crazy gap up here on that news. So we'll see. Usually when I see a stock do this, I'm more short biased, just because most of the time these overextended stocks fail. They may go on a few more days of running, but a lot of times they come right back down to where they originally were. So in this case, it'd be around the 115s, and so that's kind of what I'm going to watch for this one. Also looking at OCX here. Top left chart on my monitor. Alright, so yeah, they're up after they announced encouraging results in the study of lung cancer test, which is called Determaview. But positive results for their lung cancer test, Determaview. I don't even know how to pronounce that. But yeah, positive data, positive results for their tests, and you can see OCX is up from 285 to 445. So a pretty, significant gap up there as well. DFBG, next one I'm looking at here, top right chart. This one's been kind of going crazy the last few days. Yeah, so Robert Graham, who is Differential Brands Group, Inc., who works there, signed a tailored clothing partnership with Peerless. So yeah, they signed a partnership with tailored clothing Peerless. And so that's interesting, DFBG. We'll see how much of this one goes up. It's up only a small amount. It's up from 537 to 580. So a partnership deal. And so we'll see where it kind of continues at the open here. Also looking at SMMT. You see SMMT sitting at 285, gapping up from 249. Let's look at this one now as well. All right, so SMMT, the chart at the top right side of my screen. Apparently it was awarded up to $4.5 million grant from CARBX for development of new mechanisms in gonorrhea antibiotics. Interesting. SMMT's up on that. Small gap up, but up from 280 from 249 to 280. So a decent gap up here. Moving on to RSLS. Gapping from 218 to 244. Same side of the screen, top right. Alright, so it sounds like they put out a press release saying that they were expanding their intragastric balloon business to ultimately include Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston. Yeah, they had a successful implant of the first reshaped balloon, which was ultimately at Brigham and Women's Hospital there. So that's interesting news. Good news. Definitely positive news for RSLS. We'll see if this one can start pushing up, break this 255 high at the open tomorrow. That's kind of where I'm watching this one. BBOX, I'm sure, is just still on technicals. SFIX was another one I was looking at. Stitch Fix. Had a bad day yesterday. It may just be up from that. Let's see. Yeah, they put out a promotional press release highlighting the launch of Stitch Fix Kids. Which is ultimately a like a styling website for kids, personal style website for kids for SFIX. So interesting. We'll see where this one goes as well. Looking at DCAR here, gapping up from 131 to 150. Yeah, so DCAR partnered with Volvo Cars of Manhattan. They're going to ultimately use the dealership. They're going to ultimately use DCAR, which stands for Drop Car, for their vehicle assistance and logistics platforms. And their goal is to automate pickup and delivery of customer vehicles. So that'll be cool. Your car could be delivered to you automatically. I guess that's what DCAR is working on with Volvo of Manhattan. And the last one I'm looking at is SAEX here, gapping up from 156 to 184. Had a substantially bigger gap up. It kind of gave some of it back. It's only 30 cents or so above where it closed now. Yeah, and SAEX, last one, announced the upside of credit facility and redemption of senior notes. So that's it for this morning. We'll see what else we can find here. Not a bad morning. A lot of gappers, a lot of movement. I'm gonna go check the chat. It's been a while. Mitch, I should be able to give you a call now if you're back, brother. What's up, guys? Sorry, I just now started checking the chat. Am I planning on swing trading today? Not sure yet. We'll see. If I do swing trade, it'll probably be on Webull. It's not going to be on TradeNet. Good luck, NYC. Good luck. Yeah, but Sean, it doesn't matter. Even if it says N next to short size. It's as long as it says Y under is tradable, that means I can short it. What's up, brother? What's up? Alright, hold on, let me try to... Alright, say something.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Good morning, good morning. How we doing out there, traders?
Let me know if Mitch is coming in clear, guys. I think he should be. Yeah, BLIN. I mean, I can short BLIN. That's one of the, biggest ones I'm looking at for a short. I'm using TradeNet, though, so TradeNet actually has a decent amount of shorts that they let me take advantage of, so. All right. What's up, Mitch? How you doing, brother? How's your morning, man?
Hey, not bad, man. A little tired. Had a long night at work, but ready to get at it, man. Just gonna go ahead and I'm not looking to trade in the afternoon today because I know I'm already tired. So
Right.
looking to really nail and bail. Got to understand sometimes your energy level. That's also another thing. If you're tired, you gotta just try to just stick to what you know. Try to nail and bail.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night either. But so I probably won't trade this afternoon, but looking forward to trading this open. We got a decent amount of activity this morning, man. Not too
Yep.
bad. Good morning, BLN has a history of not holding. Good morning, VVK, Wilkin. What's up, guys? Huguetes, good morning. Sonic, good morning. Marquise, what's up, brother? Good morning, man. Let the riders write. Yeah, I always try to wait for at least a few minutes to pass before I jump in anything. What's up, Bandito? Good morning, brother. What's up, the best?
Whoa.
Good morning, man.
What's What's up, NYC? How we doing?
What's up, Seven? Good morning, brother. NYC, good morning. Good, good. You can hear. D Champion, good morning. Raphael, good morning. Omar. All right. Good morning, Frank. What's up, guys? All right. So, yeah, we got a pretty decent market today. I don't know what it's going to do at the open, obviously, but the volume's pretty substantial this morning in pre-market. We got a lot of gappers. I didn't have enough room on my watch list to include all of them, but we have a decent amount of gappers here. My four biggest watches are these four right here, though, which are OCX, DFBG, BLIN, and STAF. Looking for a possible second day wash on STAF. This thing kind of went crazy supernova yesterday. Went up from about $2 all the way to $6.30. I'm looking for it to possibly give some of those gains back today, but it could very easily push up as well, and so I'm just going to try to have patience and wait it out to see what it's going to do. What's up, Leandro? Good morning, brother. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, we'll see what BLIN does. I mean, it could run. I mean, lately a lot of times these kind of low float, kind of big movers have been going crazy. Latest example probably GBR, which is all the way back down to 340s, but GBR went kind of crazy in the last week or so. GBR actually spiked every day. It spiked the first day. In pre-market, spiked the second day, spiked the third day, finally failed the fourth day, but it spiked in pre-market before that, and then it's just been washing out ever since. So yeah, if I did start taking swing trades more often, they would probably try to take advantage of, just some of these stocks that have gone kind of crazy the last few days, coming back down to earth. That's kind of what I would want to plan to do. Do I ever try DT options? No, I mean, I've used Robinhood options, and so I'm familiar with buying calls and puts and stuff like that and how it works. I just haven't used it that much. Good morning, Raphael. What's up, brother? Good morning, man. MBVX. Trying to get my coffee in. Yeah, MBVX doesn't look too bad. Let's see if TradeNet added it. I know they added STAF. It wasn't tradable yesterday, but now STAF is tradable. So let's see MBVX here. No, they still haven't added it yet. STVX or STAF kind of went crazy, and so it makes more sense of why they would add that one. But hopefully they'll add MBVX sometime. But yeah, I was watching that stream yesterday, Mitch. Nice trade, brother. Nice trade, man.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. That's how we need to do it. It's crazy. Like when I paper trade, I'm almost always profitable, and I kind of, I do the same thing every time paper trading and just kind of rinse and repeat it. And I just need to be able to recreate that, like on my live account. Like essentially, what I do is I get in the VWAP fade setup, and I just kind of slowly build my position while making my risk a little bit smaller. Tightening my stop, and then if it goes in my direction, I get out I take half of it off when when it hits the low of the day, and then I'll let the final shares run. If it starts to run more, great. If not, I can get out for a small profit. And so I just kind of do the same thing every time, and I need to do that with my live account. If that makes sense. But yeah, what was the stock you made that gain on? It was B-Box, right?
Yes, sir. It was B-Box, and it was an all day, man. What I really liked is that I had that plan that it was gonna have that pop up around that 1:30 to 2 o'clock range, and we got that exact pop up to the exact area that I was looking for. I was a minute late to the computer, so I wasn't able to get the exact entry I wanted, but we did get the pattern that we wanted, and that's why I went and I jumped in. I had to chase a little bit, come down a little bit, probably about 6 or 8 cents from where I wanted to originally have my first entry, but we were able to capitalize and at the end of the day make a nice trade.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how reliable this VWAP fade setup is. Like every time, if the volume is good, this VWAP fade setup, you can see how reliable it is. You can see BBOX just continued to just bounce directly off of that VWAP all day yesterday. Bounced off of it four times, just over and over again, exactly off of the VWAP. And so if the volume's good and the stock is in a bearish trend, I really like that VWAP fade setup. The stock has to be in a bearish trend like B-Box was, and it also has to have good, decent volume. And as long as it has those two things, I think it's pretty reliable. We'll see how it does today, though. Do I look for advanced patterns to trade? Mitch and I have a few patterns that we really look for. I don't know if I would consider them, really advanced. But, like I said, the pattern we most of the time look for, we're short bias for the most part. At least I am. I know I am for sure. As you can see, BBOX, it starts to drop at the open. It pulls back right around to that VWAP area. That's where our entrance is ultimately going to be around, is the VWAP. And then when I get in this trade, I can set a risk here at around 265, 266, right here, around here where that previous resistance was. And so my risk is relatively small, but my potential rewards all the way down here at the low of the day around 230. And so a big risk, or a big reward, small risk relative to what this stock can do. So that's why I like the setup, but the volume has to be there and it has to be in a bearish trend. What's up, Jonathan? Good morning, brother. Look at RSLS, Mitch. RSLS starting to spike up here.
All right, I'll take a quick look at that.
Look at RSLS, guys. Starting to spike. It's at 268. Starting to get a big volume spike here. The volume's starting to come in pre-market. It's up to 270 now. So a big move for RSLS here. I think I can trade this one. Let's see. Yeah, I can trade this one. So a lot of stuff's tradable in trading it this morning, Mitch.
Definitely. We got a lot of stocks. Just got to find which one's going to be the best opportunity as we see the price discovery time.
Right. Alright, so do I look for advanced patterns to trade like bat, butterflies, etc.? No, usually I trade simple patterns because in my mind it's like the simplest patterns are going to be the ones that work the best just because they have the most traders that are actually looking for that pattern in the market. And the more traders that are looking for it, the more momentum it's going to have, And so I look for simple patterns. I use that VWAP fade setup for longs. I use pre-market high breaks, 1 minute pullbacks, and just conventional flag patterns if it looks decent buying on the dip. No, you can't, Heath. Yeah, no pre-market or after hours trading on TradeNet. Only during market hours. On Webull you can. So I've been using Webull for pre-market and after hours trades. Man, I needed this coffee. Whew.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Bandito. If you think about technical analysis in general, it's the simple patterns that really work well. The more complicated patterns, they just don't have enough traders actually looking for those patterns, and so they don't have as much momentum, you know.
I see that 473 mark. Not It's 347 on that resistance for BLIN on the daily. That's going to be a really, really important area if this decides to go long through those threes. So that's when I'm going to be, if I am long, I'm going to be really careful in that area as it's had huge wicks in that area. And then immediately you see those dailies, they're super wicky and the body's actually really, really small. And it's all the way at the bottom of the range.
Right.
Every single time it's make that run. So that means this stock likes to do like LEDS, straight up moves and then straight
Back
back
down.
down move. Yeah.
So basically, it looks like a good short.
Well, I mean, definitely.
If it could spike, if it doesn't spike though, like obviously, I didn't
Yeah,
mean, you know.
you have your wrist spot right now as up there at that resistance. I would see it could hold that 473 area. I wouldn't necessarily short until you see the rejection of this long pattern. Um, you know, you got a support here at 286. So if you see a quick washout to 286 and then it bounces up to 3 area, then you can maybe take a shot. But the only problem with that is that you're still in the high volatility stage. So you would want to see that complete washout, breakdown, get below those 275s, and then you could look to short somewhere now as it makes its move back to 250s. But I think this is going to hold. It's going to probably wash down, do a red to green move, and get back up there around those 347s. So
Yeah.
that's where I'll look for actually for the reversal of this stock because I think it's definitely overcrowded already. Um, it already has 2 million shares traded. The float I'm seeing is 2.9 million.
Uh,
So it's
Small float.
almost, yeah, it's almost already rotated the whole float.
Yeah, I see on the daily chart that three. What is it? Yeah, 347 resistance, 345, 347 resistance.
Yeah, that's going to be a really main point to the stock, guys. That's really what you want to watch. If you are long, you can go long towards that target, and if you do get that break, you could get this move back up to $4. I don't see it getting up to this the daily high there, but I definitely see if it could break those 347s, could make its way to that $4 range.
Yeah, I could see that as well. It just got to get over those resistances at 327 for the high of pre, and that 347 plus half dollar. I think it may struggle, but we'll see. You know.
You see, without like if you cut off May, like after that last spike, you could look at this as a head and shoulders for the daily, and then now we've gotten a test to that pattern
Right.
because it looks exactly like a head and shoulders on the daily for those more complex patterns right there. That's more of a complex pattern. That head and shoulders right there.
Yeah, I see it.
So that's also another sign. So if you would see the 347 hold, then that could be the sign that it's the head and shoulders holding and could come right back down to that 226 area, 207 area for the day.
Yep. Yeah, I'm watching it for sure. A lot of action on it. A lot of people watching it as well. You can
You
see.
see
Look at RSLS here.
huge bid there. The level twos you can see it's pushing down on the support right now. It's at 291 now.
Oh yeah.
There you go. It broke it down a little bit. So let's see if those 275s hold. It could just fade out here. If it's holding down here, this is where I liked more when stocks are going to go longer. When they kind of like fade out right before 9:30.
Yeah, I could see it. Kind of like GBR did that one day. I think GBR did that the other day. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me see.
Yeah, you just want to see it base.
Oh no. Yeah, I mean GBR started to tank that day, but it still held over support before the open. I mean, I guess not. Right before the open, it closed or it dropped under that support level. But yeah, a lot to watch today.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for sure. We gotta do what we did yesterday, really pay attention when the open comes. Remember, when the open comes, you're not looking to trade, but find the right stock to trade.
Right. Yeah, for
So
sure.
let's really focus on that. I think that's what we did yesterday really good. We all saw that move, that hard crash on BBOX, and that gave us the ability to see that volume bar and be like, all right, this is where we need to attack. This is where the opportunity is and the volume is right now.
Right. We gotta take our shot when we can. You know.
Without a doubt, this is what we're here for.
Oh, what's up, Sky Dreams?
Another thing is when we see that VWAP fade and we see it like with that hard volume at the beginning, we got to go ahead and hit that. If it's at that VWAP, go ahead and take it. Sometimes I feel like I kind of wait a little bit. I'm looking for just a couple more cents. And I got to realize if I'm going to go ahead and risk right above that VWAP and I can get in even 5 cents, 5 cents is fine. 5 cents a risk, 10 cents max risk. But there's a lot of times like yesterday where it was at 142s and I was looking for like 145,
Right.
like 245. So that's when you got to go ahead and just try to take 2 or 3 cents off of the VWAP and just know that if you get that next green candle up, you just get out.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a Canadian and was curious if you knew how someone day trade on TSX. Is there a program with live TSX charts? What is TSX? Mitch, do you know what TSX is?
That's just the Canada market.
Oh, the Canadian market? I've never
Yeah, the
traded on it.
Canadian market.
Yeah, Jordan, I've never traded on the Canadian market. And so I wouldn't really, I wouldn't really know how to approach it.
I mean,
Um,
if you give me a stock symbol, we can look it up, see if maybe it comes up on our. We
yeah,
can
see
see
if it
another
shows up.
stock symbol. Yeah, that's all. Sometimes I know on Shirt Trader you used to be able to trade certain ones.
Yeah. Appreciate the sub, Sunil. Appreciate it.
We're definitely testing that support here, guys. And you see, there's some pretty big sizing there for pre-market. I see like 2,000 shares there, 3,000 shares there, at 3,600 shares at 288. Those are people buying off the support and trying to let it come back to the resistance up there at 316. So that's what they're looking for, and that's their approach.
Right.
They're what we call bag holders right now. So if it does just wash out through their support, that's what we're gonna look for that big 1 minute candle. That's them giving up. If it just washes on them right quickly at the open.
Yeah, I can see that. You got to be careful. I need to have the patience to wait for my entry, and so I gonna try to wait at least 5 minutes after the open. Like I said, I've been paper trading on demand, like on weekends and once the market closes, and I've had pretty good success on there. Just kind of back testing the pattern, and kind of the criteria I use is like I want at least 5 minutes to pass after the open. It has to have good volume and it has to be in a downward trend. And so if all of those kind of come together, it's much more reliable, I think.
I'd have to agree with that. I've seen the exact minute candle that it usually happens is 9:36.
Right.
So that would agree to your view on waiting for that 5 minutes.
Right. I just think it's more reliable. It kind of forms a high and a low and a pattern to give it more momentum. Look at DFBG here. DFBG starting to fall. And we have 2 minutes before the open.
That's one of my tops watch right now. So my biggest charts have DFBG and BLIN.
Yeah, you can see DFBG dropping all the way down to 550 now.
You see on the daily chart, we do have what kind of more of a head and shoulders also from 643 on that last high on the daily. So if this crashes, right at the open, we'll definitely look for it. It did that little run in pre-market, but no one really bought it up.
Yep. Yeah, right, Pierre. You gotta let things shake out, brother. You gotta just let it calm down a little bit. I appreciate the sub, Lazy Tech. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it, man. All right, so we have 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. 1 minute.
All right, guys. All right, this is when you want to go ahead and just kind of start visualizing what you expect to see. Visualize the move that you want and take it because that's what you're looking for.
Yep. All right, guys, we got 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Almost there. Almost there. Market opens up in 5 seconds, guys. 5 seconds. And there's the bell.
There was 290, 62,000 shares that went through there on BLIN. 290, 62,000 shares.
Wow.
It was on the ask, just to let you guys know.
All right, so markets open. Big spike in SMMT. Wow, look at this spike here. Crazy spike. SMMT up to 314 already, so big spike here. BLIN down to 290, kind of going sideways, choppiness a little bit here. RSLS breaking that pre-market high at around 290. It's pushing up to 298 at its highs now, testing $3. We got a few spikes. BLIN spiking some here, up to 303. RSLS over 3 now.
I'm looking for this to fail now. There you go, guys. Got that crackdown.
Oh, on BLIN, yeah, there's the wash. Little green to red move here.
All right, now wait, guys. Just relax. This is where you can just get too much. You know, you could just jump on there, but your risk is all the way up there at $3. You don't want to do that.
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm waiting for a pullback, preferably in the next few minutes. Gonna wait, wait for that pullback.
LEDS also has a pretty good fade out at the beginning, but that always has a tendency of doing a red to green, so give that more time.
LEDS, you said?
Yes, LEDS. Okay.
All right, STAF pushing up here, breaking 5. Up to 505 here. See if it can hold over that level. RSLS with the big spike here as well.
All right, might take a small position here at the VWAP there.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it too.
I'm willing to take it if it bounces up to VWAP here.
Yeah, I'm just going to start a small, like 5 or 50 share position if it gets up there too.
Risk would be, I'm looking for 287 off of 303.
That was where to take it. Let's see if we can get up there again.
Yeah, I'm going to cancel down here. I don't like when it does this whole little second candle, so I'll just look for the down move through the 270 confirmation here.
Man, LEDS is tanking hard here.
Yeah, I saw it in the open, but the problem with LEDS is that it does a lot of red to
There's
green
the
moves.
drop. Man, that was a beautiful VWAP test. My bad, bro.
Are you good?
Look at that. Also, STAF tanking here. That was the one to get into, man. Look at there it goes. Oof. Well, at least we were right.
I mean, it didn't get to, on my chart, it didn't get to the VWAP. That's the only thing.
Not quite, but whenever, I mean, I think every trader's different.
Yeah, we talked about it and actually about this before the open. like being kind of close to the VWAP and trying to take it. I think it's
Yeah,
still a little early. I think we'll get another little bounce.
yeah, no worries. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting just
I'll look for
for
that solid connection here on this bounce.
oh yeah, for sure. We still got time though.
B box squeezing guys. The red to green move on B box. Let's see if it gets over the pre-market highs. It needs to get over 210 and then really 220s for it to be long.
Yeah, there it goes. Nice little washout long on that one.
Kind of paid attention to DFBG. It's just been hanging around those 559s. I would like it to reject and get underneath those 540s. Then we'll really start looking for it.
Right. What's your lowest point of BTC?
Fuck.
Trevor, I don't trade Bitcoin at all. I never have, so
All right.
I wouldn't be the best person to analyze it.
I'm willing to take a VWAP bounce here for BLIN. Got to be real quick. 294 will get me out. So you have to be really quick because the bounce could get just right through it and it could be the red to green move. So
Right.
the later you wait, the more risk you have for that red to green move at the beginning because you've gotten the bounce.
Right.
This is the second bounce. LEDS actually gave a beautiful VWAP bounce there to 519, 518.
All right, so BLIN is up to 274. Let's see how big this bounce is here. Yeah, that's tough, Mill. Yeah, for Bitcoin, I'm just kind of lost with it. I just don't know enough about it. Look at RSLS. Look at this drop.
Yeah, I see that.
Now, we also want to kind of pay attention to a bounce up to the VWAP here on RSLS.
Canceling my order. It's kind of basing there at 270, guys.
Nice insurance. Hey, glad you could get out with the green trade, brother. All right, so here's RSLS bouncing up to test this VWAP area. The only reason I'm hesitant to get in this one is because it's not really in a trend. It's just kind of sideways right now. All right, so what are you thinking about BLIN? I'm thinking about just starting a 50 share position at this point and then adding if it gets up to 284, getting out if it breaks 290.
I feel like it's too much support play now. We kind of missed our entry, and if you go in here, you're too much in the bounce. Any bounce is going to just emotionally get you out.
Right.
I think you got to just kind of let the pattern start giving you here something. I mean, if you want to risk off a 286, that'd be fine, risking off the VWAP. But I never like to risk off the VWAP as I'm trying to actually get my entry on the VWAP.
Right. I'm kind of watching STAF as well.
So you got a down one, down two, up two,
Yeah,
down three. Look for a bounce here, not to get above 276. Then you can maybe try it. Because it could hold that bounce to the resistance, that last little touch up, and then crack it.
Yeah, I think it's going to head down. I don't think it's going to stop here.
You might have a little bounce up there at 265, 268 range.
All right, I'm watching STAF pretty closely here. Looking to get in with a starter position and then get out if it breaks. It's too late. It dropped. I was trying to get in at the 440s. It's at the 430s now. There's a bounce up to the 40s. Spread is 20 or 10 cents now. Too big, too crazy for STAF. Not going to mess with that one right now.
LEDS seems interesting, but the volume kind of slowed down there.
Which one?
LEDS, it gave a nice VWAP fade, but it's a little bit late for that entry.
Yep.
Um, and the volume kind of just really died out. That's what I don't like right there. Because the curve right there can do the red to green. You saw that little bounce there to 68 there on BLIN.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of saying that you could maybe take your chance on this green candle here. But it has to be tighter. I think the risk. That's all it is. You just have to be tighter. You
Right.
might get stopped out once and then have to get back in the trade. That's all it really is.
Man, kind of kicking myself for not taking STAF. It's looking bullish here, or bearish, I should say.
DFBG heading down to 540s there.
SAEX, yeah, SAEX is kind of going crazy here. Look at SAEX up to 244. Big move.
Yeah, nice little extension there. Nice. It's 44 cent 1 minute candle there on SAEX.
RSLS breaking the lows here. There's that kind of second VWAP play I've been talking about. Did a really nice, broke under the VWAP after a small run and then came back down.
Guys, BLIN I think is going to squeeze here, guys. I just really don't feel like this is the VWAP fade, guys.
Well, I mean, it's already done.
Here.
It already did the VWAP fade. It might be over, you know.
It just might be over right here.
Because I was just going to say the whole plan with the VWAP fade is to get in around the VWAP and then ride it to the low. And so it's already broken that low once. And so if I was in it, I would have probably taken a small I would covered some already. And so if it gets squeezed here, which it looks like it may.
It just looks very squeezy to me here.
Yeah, same thing with the STAF. But if STAF gets up to around the VWAP, I'll consider it.
There you go. We got a VWAP touch there.
Yeah, I'm going to change the time frame to a 2 minute and look at that. See how that looks. Looks a little bit better. Just kind of patiently waiting for my setup. We still have time.
Exactly. There's no point in rushing into something. You know, anybody that did that VWAP fade now is definitely on the verge of getting squeezed out there on BLIN. That's why it's up here getting some good sizing. Some people are getting re-short from the VWAP, and other people are just kind of worried there. But you got a nice rejection there again.
Yeah, we'll see if it comes down. Oh, look at STAF, brother. STAF, really nice VWAP fade. Kind of missed the opportunity there. Ah, beautiful. Look at that drop down 54 cents, 50, 60 cents or so. That was it right there, man. Ugh, just missed it.
Brother.
Yeah, there'll be other ones, man. BLIN starting to tank here. Looking good. Down to the 60s. Let's see if we can crack that low. Yeah, the VWAP fade is definitely in play though, man. Like if you look at STAF, beautiful example of it. Same thing with BLIN. Even if it doesn't break these lows, it's still a good example of it.
There she goes, guys. BLIN is pushing on that breakdown
Yep.
point right there. I'm trying to see the level twos there.
Down to the 60s. It may bounce a little bit. Hopefully it'll continue to break the low if it does bounce.
Five-minute has it holding those 260s.
Yeah, you can see there's a lot of support there. Here's a bounce on STAF as well. Alright, so here's a bounce up to the 670 level, or the 270 level. I don't really want to see this bounce get back over this 275 point.
SAEX there, guys. Went up there and just completely tanked there, guys.
Yeah, there it goes, breaking under 2. How much is this thing up the last few days? I think this one ran. Let me look. Yeah, it's up from 150 the last few days.
It doesn't have enough room for me anymore, but
Alright, so this is kind of the make or break level with BLIN here. I don't want to see it get over 275. I'd like to see this is a small bounce after it tested the low and then a continuation down. It's up to 275.
all right, guys. Yeah, I'm watching it.
Up to 276. Yeah, that was the level I didn't want to see it break. I'll give it time, but try to have some patience with it here. Let it test this VWAP.
LEDS guys getting a little run there.
Yeah, LEDS right around that VWAP. I appreciate the sub, Bassam. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it, man. All right, so here's the VWAP test for BLIN again.
I'm trying to get on LEDS long, guys. LEDS long, looking LEDS long.
Yeah, looking for that washout long setup over 550. Looks okay.
Yep, I have an order out for 526, guys.
I appreciate the sub. Appreciate the sub, brother. Welcome, man. Appreciate it. All right, so BLIN kind of battling the VWAP here.
Canceling down a little bit. I wanted to come back a little bit to the VWAP, 520. See if I get filled here. I'm going to order out 522.
All right, so BLIN testing the VWAP again.
Canceling it, guys. Just not getting filled there in between the spread. Would have to take it up there.
GBR. All right, man, Mitch, we completely missed this one. Look at GBR, brother. Damn.
I saw it yesterday. It made a yeah, it's just bouncing off the support there. But nice little run there.
Yeah,
Probably
for
can come
sure.
right back down.
All right, here's BLIN getting rejected at the VWAP again.
All right. Now we have
STAF.
4 minutes. We got a little bear flag there on BLIN 5 minute. I'm gonna look for the breakdown here. If it goes below 60, I'll do a little starter, giving me a little room to get up there at 270s on a little bounce. Risk would be 278. I would need it to break the complete pattern though. I don't want to just jump in there.
Yeah, the only
Too much support.
right. I mean, it's kind of forming a channel, honestly, at this point. Like the channel is the highs of 285, the lows of 260, and so it's kind of just going back and forth between this channel at this point. And with
symmetrical.
right,
It's
and
looking symmetrical.
with this push up, it's kind of having a higher highs.
So I want to see it come below 60s if I'm gonna go short.
Trying to have the patience here to wait it out and find a good setup. But I mean, there was two really nice VWAP fades on STAF and BLIN, and then since then I haven't seen much. Might have missed the window there. There's the bounce down to the VWAP, Mitch, on GBR.
Oof. Yeah, GBR definitely interesting after that move. Super extended.
For sure.
I just don't like shorting stocks that are above VWAP though. I just don't have luck yet. I need to start practicing that more.
VSTM.
Just one to keep on a watch. There you go. We got BLIN squeeze there, guys. I would wait for like 280s. Willing to take 280s off at 270s there. If it comes to it. Looks like it might just go through it. Yeah, it's going to blow right past it. I should have maybe took those 290s. But that's how it is with those longs. You got to be really quick. You got to take your spot. Start adding into it as it breaks out. Trying to see what's going to happen up there at $3. And there he goes. There's definitely a hidden seller up there, guys.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad I didn't jump into that one, man.
Yeah, that's the thing though. You know, what happened is that the support was just way too much there at 67s.
Yeah, and I mean, it had a few VWAP fades, like 1, 2, 3. So it had a few to take advantage of. But after a certain point, it's kind of like I was trying to explain it to my buddy that it's kind of like breaking down a wall. Once you finally break it down, you know, that's kind of your chance to get in on the upside. So when it finally broke that VWAP resistance, it just kind of went on a tear. A VSTM picking up some volume on the way down. All right, so yeah, there goes RSLS here, cracking under the lows. Look at RSLS.
That's a crack.
SAEX.
There she goes, BLIN, guys. Probably going up there to that resistance there, 347 there, guys. Double tapping up there at 323s,
Yeah, it's right around
324s.
the pre-market high at 327. So it kind of went up to the pre-market high, got rejected a few times.
Yeah, hard rejection up there, guys.
All right, so
There's definitely someone hitting up there.
So at this point in the day, a lot of times you won't see another VWAP fade. And so I'm kind of looking for what RSLS did in this case. You see RSLS had this big push up. Eventually it broke underneath the VWAP and held that area as resistance. And so now I'm looking at some of these bullish stocks to see if they reverse underneath the VWAP and hold those points as resistance, so I can get in for a possible short play with those. That's kind of what I'm looking for right now. I've been trying to be a little patient here and just wait for good setups. LBIX kind of breaking out some here. WTI, DNR, TGC, MNOV.
Seeing LADS now up there to 538. I want to see some volume come in this stock. DFBG, guys. DFBG here.
All right, so I'm looking at GBR here, and what I really want to see, there goes DFBG. Look at that drop, man.
I hit the short right before it. I was hitting 540.
Did you get in?
No.
Oh,
right.
man.
We're talking about milliseconds, bro. I would be adding right here. Any bounce, I would just be adding.
That's rough, man.
I'm looking for 39s or something. Damn, man. You don't understand.
Just missed it, brother.
Looking at it, bro. Like, I clicked it and everything. 9:55, 59.
Just missed it, brother.
And that.
It sucks, man. Don't worry about it, bro. We'll find some, man.
I'm looking for a bounce to the support, which is 539.
Yeah, I see that.
If it bounces there, I'll try to get filled. There's the break back down for BLIN there.
It fell back down?
Yeah, it's gonna go to the test the BWAP now. DFBG, guys. I'm telling you, I was looking at it a little earlier, but I took it off when I had LEDS there.
All right, so look, there goes GBR. Like I was saying, kind of watching GBR for a bounce back to the VWAP. See if it can test 4. If it tests 4, I might consider going short down to this 378 level right here is where my goal is. So I look to get in at 4 and ride it down to 380. And so that's what I'm looking for with GBR at this point. Also kind of keeping an eye on what Mitch is saying with DFBG if it bounces back to that previous support at 540, right around 539, 540.
There's BLIN. They're just bouncing there, guys. There's definitely some hidden action there that we're not seeing there. So whenever I see that overload, it's just too many traders in it. You don't really know which direction it's going.
Kind of missed GBR here. It didn't really pull back like I wanted it to. But like I said, I'm looking for a pullback to the VWAP around 4.
I'm telling you, that DFBG, that's
rough, brother.
Let's get into it, bro.
That's rough, brother. Don't dwell on it, man. You'll bounce back, bro. You know, hey,
that was it right there.
We haven't had a losing day.
Any ad.
It's not
looking for any ad up there.
It's not a losing day, brother. So we got to be optimistic with our winning or with the good days. All right, so GBR, still watching it to get in possibly around 4 with a 420 stop.
It's the breakout BLIN going all the way up to
335. Yeah.
You see on the daily, it's starting to approach that 347. I'm going to be looking for big shorts to jump in there at 347 and just take it down. It just seems like this stock just gets it's getting weighed at the top. Every single time it goes up, the weight just falls on it.
All right, so here's GBR spiking up to that $4 level. I'm going to take a small position here. And then if it starts to break above the VWAP, I'm just going to get out. But my target is set down to this 375 level. I got a little bit of time here. Just a small position, just trying to possibly let it work for me. See how much this thing can crack down if it does. And if it breaks over, got a reasonable stop set around 420, 422 or so. Gonna try to give it that time here. It's up to 399. That's okay. Even if it breaks 4, that's okay here. As long as it doesn't get over 5 or 420, I'm good. I may spike up to 410 here. I'm gonna have to get out quick. Watching the level too close. What is that noise, brother? Your dog?
That is my dog. Yep. Looks like he found the water bottle. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Small bounce on DFBG.
Yeah, watching that as well. See if it can hold over that level. Alright, so GBR starting to spike here. If it gets up to 410, I'm just going to cut my loss. Getting very, very close here. See if we can crank back down. Down to 402. Got to see it hold under 4. There's 4.
I'm trying to get short on LEDS, guys. I saw it break back down below the VWAP. I'll look to a touch up to the VWAP to get filled.
Alright, so there's the breakdown on GBR down to 399. Still having a little bit of patience with it. Back up to 402. I want to see that area hold as resistance. If it breaks up to 410, I'm just going to get out of it for a small loss. I want to see it hold underneath that level though. It's back down to 4. You see a possible tank here. BLIN keeps squeezing. Yeah, it's up to 340 now at its highs. So a crazy move here. I'm watching it on my other monitor. It's at 337 now. Interesting. Definitely interesting. Trying to have the patience I need with GBR, but if it starts to squeeze here, I'm out. Want to see it hold that VWAP area as resistance. It's up to 405. Spiking again here. Like I said, if it gets up to 410, I'm just going to get out. We'll see if this is a double top, but up to 407. Watching the level 2 really closely with GBR here. Volume, the only thing I don't like about GBR at this point is the volume just came down a lot. And if the volume picks up and it starts to squeeze on the way up, I could be in trouble. So very, very close to exiting the trade here. Any decent squeeze up, I'm going to jump out quickly. Don't want to see a squeeze up here. There's RSLS dropping under those lows.
Alright guys, I took a starter there for DFBG. Gonna look to add to the position. Also thinking about shorting LEDS here. There's 2 stocks that I'm looking at.
Alright, back down to 4 on GBR. Let's see if we can crack underneath it. Kind of a double top there, 399. Let's see if we can get underneath it. Get a little bit. Got to getting a lot of sellers on the ask at 399. Back up to 4. Yeah, there's the bounce on DFBG up to that previous low. GBR still sitting right around the VWAP area, kind of the make or break point with this one. Got my hand over the buy button. LEDS might be a good little VWAP fade setup here as well. Look at LEDS.
Yeah, I was watching that.
It's bouncing back to that VWAP at 514 now. Yeah, it's an e-cig, Tom. Surprising how many people think I'm like smoking other stuff, but it's just an electric cigarette. All right, so look for a possible squeeze here. I'm just going to go ahead and get out here for a 750 loss. There's the squeeze up. And this is why I was watching the level 2 really strongly here, is because it immediately gets squeezed up here. So I still got out for a pretty minimal loss relative to how far it went up. So there's the squeeze to 419. That's why I was watching the level 2 so closely. And I'm pretty proud of that exit. I mean, I got out right before that squeeze up. It's up to 417 now. Got out at about 410. So got out, a decent amount with a decent protection. This is how I use mental stops. All right, yeah, DFBG, I'm watching it. The volume's just low today, brother.
Yeah, that's my only problem with it. But already taking the trade, so now I'm just trying to manage it right now. Over 540 would get me out, but I'm looking for it to fail right here.
BLIN is testing the VWAP at this point. SAEX starting to squeeze up to the VWAP. I may take a small position if it does bounce up to the VWAP here. Yeah, in my mind, Mitch, we just missed our opportunities this morning. Like the two ones to really talk about are or BLIN for the VWAP fade and STAF. Both of those had really, really obvious, really nice VWAP fades that we kind of missed, but they were there. That's the two opportunities we really missed today. But yeah, look at that exit on GBR. Really proud of that exit. Was watching the level 2, and that's really how I use the level 2, is to see when I see the orders start to stack up on the bid and I see it starts to look pretty bullish. I can exit the trade before a huge squeeze like this, and so I got out pretty comfortably there at 410. It eventually squeezed up to 425, and so I saved myself 15 cents a share getting out a little early, but just by watching the level 2 close enough.
BLIN is still going to be something to watch. It went up there at 340s and just kind of died out. Now it's there.
At the VWAP.
There at the, right. So you needed to break it.
Nice, Jeremy. Congrats, brother. Congrats.
LEDS, man. LEDS broke down there, broke to 5. I was watching this one. I wanted 519 and never really got there.
Yeah, that's that VWAP fade. I was really thinking about that one too. Look at that, man. It's surprising how reliable this VWAP fade strategy is. Look at that. And this is kind of another one where it's over the VWAP. When it breaks underneath it, it pushes up to test it, in this case at 515. And then it tanks back down. So that's another one of the kind of variations of the VWAP fade setup I've been watching. Yes, Santiago, I have a TradeNet link that gets you 10% off if you want it, brother. Here, I'll post it in the chat. Give me a second. All right, so here's the link for the TradeNet 10% off. I'll go ahead and post it in the chat. So yeah, this link gets you 10% off any package on TradeNet. Oh wait, that's not the right one. I'm sorry. Let's see. Sorry, that's not the right one. This is the right one. What was your question? Let the writers write. Yeah, sorry, brother. The chat's kind of crowded, but I'll do my best to answer it, bro. Just let me know what the question was.
I'm out of DFBG there. I got out at 540s. I took a little hit. Not too bad. $23 though.
Small loss relative to what what you made yesterday, for instance. So you're good, brother.
It's all good.
Kind of watching SAEX for a possible VWAP fade. Yeah, no worries, Santiago. No worries, brother. VSTM. Still steady pushing up. BZH. Steady pushing up as well. CLWT. Look at CLWT. This thing's starting to tank underneath the VWAP here. And it's tradable on TradeNet. Interesting. So yeah, I mean, I'll let the stream go a little while longer. Later on in the day, my VWAP fade setup kind of switches to a different variation. A good example of it is RSLS. Like, Mitch, I think I've talked about this one with you before. It's like if you look at RSLS at the open, it pushed above the VWAP, got to 320. When it failed and broke underneath the VWAP, it made a test right after it broke underneath it up to 285 and then just tanked underneath it. And so that's kind of the, once the first few minutes pass, that's kind of the setup I look for. Look at BBOX here, Mitch. I'm probably going to jump in BBOX with a small starter position here up to this VWAP area. If it gets squeezed over 196 over the VWAP, I can get out for a very small loss, and I can take a small position on BBOX now, anticipating a drop back down. And so that's probably what I'm going to do with this one. Try to let it get up there to test, and then see how it reacts to 2.
BLIN there, back to the resistance there, guys.
All right, so I am in BBOX with 100 shares. Small position relative to how much it's actually moving. And I'm looking for it to come back down here, break under the 190s.
Here comes that test to the resistance there, 47. Big sellers up there.
On a BLIN.
Mm-hmm.
STAF back up to the VWAP area as well. Look at STAF here. This looks like a good short. The only thing I'm worried about is a squeeze, but you got a very obvious risk on STAF of the 450 level. All right, so here's the VWAP test on BBOX here. I might jump in. I might add another 100 here on BBOX.
I just don't see enough range there for me. You have to take big size and.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. Definitely going to be a little bit longer term trade, but look at STAF right around the VWAP. Testing it now. Very obvious risk of 450. And getting rejected right there at the VWAP on STAF. At least at this point, it's down to 427.
Taking a starter there on LEDS there. Starter.
Going short.
Yeah, going short, guys.
There goes GBR breaking under the VWAP again.
This BLIN, man, it went up to that resistance, and I was honestly thinking about shorting up there in the 340s. And would have given it to me. You guys remember I talked about shorting up there near that 347. I was even thinking about just taking a small position, 50 shares even up there. Now you're in the average about 20 cents, and any pop up there to like the 30s, you can go ahead and now get an average probably in the 35s, 40s. That's what you want to do if
For,
you're trying to short on resistance, on daily resistance.
you talking about
It's a different
LEDS?
strategy. No, on BLIN,
Oh,
it
BLIN.
went up there back to that. When if you look at the daily,
Oh yeah, the double top right there. Especially
345. Remember we talked about that spot, 345, 347.
right. That
It
was
was
where
gonna
the
be a, it was gonna be a big spot to watch, and you see the hard rejection there.
yeah. It could almost start to wedge here though. Like if you look at BLIN, the biggest thing I'm worried about is like a little
It's
bit
a
of a
different
possible
strategy.
wedge.
It's a different strategy. You're shorting the resistance. You're shorting the resistance. So what you got to do is you have to do small share sizing, and the only way you confirm is breakdowns of supports. Let's see if LEDS can get underneath 5 here.
Yeah, it's kind of forming a channel on BLIN.
They could make another run to the resistance. So that's what you're going to watch, you know?
Ratish. So I mean, yes, but you know every trader's different. With this type of setup, I'm just more looking for the fail, just because I think it happens more times than not that it fails. Like if you look at STAF, kind of did this numerous times, just bounced off the VWAP area. And if it goes over, I just kind of set a mental stop. The good thing is that it has a good risk to reward. Like I can set my risk on this BBOX trade at around $1.98 before the break of 2. And so if it does in fact break that level, I can get out with a very small minimal loss. And so really, I prefer to just wait. Like you can look at STAF as an example here as well. Bouncing down to the VWAP because the whole point is to be able to exit around the lows of the day. And so I think it has a little bit better risk to reward if you get in when it right around the VWAP test. But every trader's different. That's just how I like to approach it. But yeah, really nice VWAP rejection here at STAF or VWAP fade. DCAR. Kind of looking a little weak here. We'll see what DCAR can do. It's tradable as well. Yeah, Mitch, I think we just missed our setups today, brother. We missed
We have.
STAF and LFIN. But at least we identified them, and that's the most important thing. It's all about seeing whether it's a plausible setup in this market, right? And the one trade I've gotten into today, aside from the one I'm in, is GBR, and it wasn't really a VWAP fade like I usually look for. It was kind of that second VWAP break when it fell underneath it. And so really, the times that the setup happened, like the setup, you know, the exact setup I look for at the open happened, which was STAF and what was the other one? BLIN. You know, those worked. You know, those very obvious VWAP fades. And so that's kind of what I've been looking for here. And, you know, sometimes you're going to miss your setups. You're going to miss the trades. But, you know, still looking for it. I think the golden window for that strategy is around about 9:35 to about 10:15. You know, and so anything we get into here is going to be a little bit less reliable.
Yeah,
Uh,
without a doubt.
for nothing more than the volume isn't as good.
Yeah, the first moves have happened.
MTSL halted. Yeah, MTSL was popping up on my scanner. Yeah, MTSL getting a little volume spike here coming up. Needs some more volume though, but crazy that it's halted already. It was halted very, very quick. CTXR. Yeah, that one doesn't look too bad. Looking at DCAR here for a possible fade under 150. May add another 100 shares. I think for me to take any significant gain out of B-Box here, I need a little bit larger sizing. So I may add 100 shares, try to let it work. I've been trying to use bigger sizing, so if I take a little bit larger loss, that's okay. Because the point is to take bigger gains as well. So really considering adding here, especially since it looks a little weak. All right, so I'm in with 200 shares at this point on BBOX. Just trying to give it that time. Give myself the shot to take a little bit bigger gain. Hey Mitch, I'm gonna go make another cup of coffee, brother. I'm gonna unplug my mic. Yell at me if BBOX. I'm gonna set a stop here for the 190s.
You long?
Yeah,
You're short.
I'm short.
All right, so you're gonna set it what, $2 or?
Yeah, 199. I don't want to get squeezed after if it breaks two, so I'll give it a little bit of time here. Stop set at 199.
Did you just put a regular stop or a stop limit?
It's a regular stop. Stop limit's too risky in case I miss that move. So I'll be right back.
No stress. Interesting one here is CLWT. CLWT. Let's see, LEDS can get underneath 5 here. There's 499s. There you go. I went right back up there. Someone bought up 5s. Anything above here, I'm just gonna get out to 508, 510. We're looking for a crash down below 5. CLWT looks better, honestly. I just can't get it. I'm not gonna get into 2 trades at once. There's B-Box pushing on John's position there. Don't want it to get above that VWAP.
All right, I'm back.
It's up there at 194 for you. 195 on the ask.
Gotta let it test that area. If it breaks, just get out. It has a small enough range. I'm in it with 200 shares, but it has a small enough range for me to feel okay in it. If it starts to push, I can get out for a small loss.
Alright guys, looking to add to my position on LEDS. Looking to add at 498. 498.5.
Still some choppiness in BBOX down to 193. That's what I want to see. Let's see if it continues dropping here.
Looking for an add on LEDS there, guys. It's down to 490s there.
STAF back up to the VWAP. You're in LEDS. Okay, I see it.
Yep.
All right, so there's a drop on BBOX. Let's see if it continues to get lower here. Hold that VWAP as resistance.
Mm, 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 mm.
I appreciate the sub, Tori. Welcome, appreciate it. Matt, I'm in BBOX, going short. Looking for that VWAP to hold his resistance here. What's the largest size shares do you trade? Usually I don't typically go over 300 shares. I've been trying to use bigger sizing lately, but typically I don't go over 300. I try to, keep it small for the most part. BLIN. All right, so
I have
here's
an
a
order out there at 499. It went up to 498 on the ass there for LEDS.
BBOX is back up to 195.
Yeah, I'm starting to see more of a one up, one down, two up, two down, three up, three down. So don't let it break this resistance there of that 196, I say.
Yeah.
But if it does break down relief that 192, you'll get that little bullish little 1 minute candle to just actually break down and could come back down to that 184 for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, like I said, I'm going to set my stop for 196. If it breaks over 196, I get out.
Low volume though, so
Yeah.
be careful there.
Yeah, hands over the cover button. About to break 196. It's trying here. Getting close. Got pushed back down to 194. We'll see if it gets pushed back down here. Kind of the make or break point with it.
I canceled my order for LEDS. It just took too long. It's been sitting there. CLWT, man, call out. Great call out there, guys. I called it out at 465. 465, now down there to 430s with a 450 ask, but could break down and just keep going back down there.
Yeah, that's that
This
second.
CLWT, this usually just crashes horribly.
Yeah, that's that second pattern I was talking about. Whenever it pushes over the VWAP first and then breaks down under it a little bit later on in the day.
Yeah, VBAT rejection.
Right. Yeah, so that's the difference between the VWAP rejection and the VWAP fade. The VWAP rejection is when it is bullish, but then breaks underneath the VWAP and gets rejected on the way down. Okay, that makes sense.
100%, and we can build on this on that strategy also. So take charts like this and really just put them on like a Word or something like that, and then we can start building on how we can exactly attack these kind of strategies. One of the key things is if we do small share sizing and we attack it at the VWAP, we can do a risk off pretty highs. You can even risk 30 cents if you go with enough low sizing at first. Then when you get that continuation below, then we can look to start adding size as we're getting that confirmation that it's not getting above VWAP.
Look at SAEX, Mitch. What do you think about SAEX?
Just give me one quick second. I'm probably gonna get out of this LEDS position, just break even, kind of just get on out. I'm not really liking it. It's really slow, and it just could squeeze back up here to the VWAP, and it's not really my kind of trade here.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I'm
I'm
kind
just
of.
seeing right here. I'm willing to take these profits. I'm gonna get on the bid here, see if it'll fill me, but I highly doubt. So what I'm gonna also do is get ready just in case. I'll cancel and I'll just fill it.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed out. I didn't get in. Like I called out this VWAP rejection right here at 208 on SAEX, and it ended up breaking all the way down to 182, 180 at this point, and so it looked really good. There's a drop in B-Box. That's kind of what I wanted to see here. We'll see if it finally gets that move down. I appreciate the sub, Anna. Welcome. Appreciate it. Also, still looking at STAF here for a possible VWAP fade. Okay, so there's the break under those lows on BBOX. This is kind of what I wanted to see.
There you go. It broke that 193.
Yeah, so let's see if it breaks 190. That's the next kind of level here.
Guys, I'm out on LEDS there. Just didn't like it. The spread tightened up again by 501. I lost $1.
You're good, brother. You're good. What are you going to do, man? That's brutal. Brutal loss.
I know, bro. No stress. No stress. That's why it's low share size, man. And there you go. You're getting confirmation there on
Right.
BOBX.
Hey, I'll be right back.
All right, no stress. There you go. You see that push down on the 190s? That's what you want to see. If you have like a 195 average, you can look for an ad there when it bounces up to 193. But your target should be this support 184, 185.
All right, so yeah, B-Box is down to 191. Looking for that continued down move here. Look at SFIX. SFIX breaking over the highs. Yeah, there's a few good examples of the VWAP fade strategy. I always try to review them. You can see, look at SAEX, Mitch. You know, in my, like, whenever I do the VWAP fade, for me, it doesn't necessarily have to touch the VWAP. If it just gets within a few cents of it, I still like the setup. All right, so there's another drop in BBOX here. Also, STAF has been bouncing off the VWAP all day and getting rejected. And there's the hard rejection on GBR here, down to 280s, 380s. Look at GBR, Mitch.
Yeah, I'm watching it now.
If it breaks under this low and this previous high at 380, it looks good. Nice, Bandito. Congrats, brother. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into crypto. I haven't really played around with crypto as much as I probably should have just to learn it. But it's definitely interesting. Look at GBR down to 370s.
I was thinking about what I was thinking there is I was thinking about taking 381 with 100 shares, and then any pop up in the 390s I was gonna add to. I think it was a good plan there, especially with the risk to reward there. You know, we could risk off that $4 range right there where the VWAP is for the bounce, and I think we could have got an entry there and at least a starter to look to add here and a little bounce. But it's one of those positions that I wish I was just there like 2 or 3 minutes before, you know?
That's
Something
right.
you got to watch as it's doing that consolidation period.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
But
and
if you look on the daily, it's these are the dailies that like what it's trying to do is just trying to break daily highs, and it just doesn't make it.
right. And you can see BLIN is actually just following this channel. If you look at BLIN, if you look at my screen on BLIN, I've drawn this little, I drew this little channel here, and it's following that channel pretty closely. When it breaks the channel, it may be rough for it, but we'll see. It's been following it pretty, consistently here. See, it's testing, the BLIN's testing that channel now.
If you would take this short, it would be I think a bounce here to 350s, and then you would have to risk off of 370s.
There's the crack of the channel. Just broke it. And GBR, I mean, if GBR holds this previous resistance at the 380 level, that looks like an interesting short as well, down to 340. BBOX volume is just gone.
Yeah, what was your entry? What's your average price for that?
I think it's 192. Yeah, 192.
Okay.
I mean, so I'm safe in it right now, for the most
At
part.
least you can hang out.
Right.
Hang out. Hanging out. Hey, sometimes you gotta trade careless a little bit. And it's not really that you don't care, but you can't have those emotions. On a stock like that, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen to you? A little
Right.
squeeze 10 cents up.
Right.
You'll get yourself out.
Exactly. That's why I'm comfortable in it, just because, there's the drop. Yeah, I'm comfortable in it just because my risk is still pretty low here. I mean, they got a lot of resistances above it at the VWAP, at the whole $1.02, at that low of 198, and so we still got time. I'm green in the trade at this point, although a very small amount. So yeah, I'm just waiting to see if B-Box will eventually crack under these lows at 184. Don't mind sitting here holding it, letting it work. Alright, so there's, like I said, with GBR, if it holds that 380 level as resistance, it may start to wash big here down to the 340s, down here to these lows right here. So watching that pretty closely as well. A lot of VWAP fades that I've noticed though. You know, I've seen a decent amount of VWAP fades, so the setup's definitely still in play. BBOX down to 190. We'll see if it continues here. Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell you who's right, Cool or Bandito. I just don't know enough about crypto.
Yeah, cryptos is really confusing, man.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know anything about it.
When Bitcoin was going crazy last year, I made some money, along it, but just like anybody else, the only reason I made money is that I had this approach to only buy when Bitcoin panicked.
Kind of like a dip buy.
Yeah, exactly. I was waiting for those, like, even those volatility spikes. I don't know if you remember, but it would be like just straight up, just like even the servers would crash. And that's when I'd be more and trying to get it down there at the bottom. I would look for supports, and it would barely ever just bounce off supports, but I would just look to get where I thought the best like risk to reward was, and got some pretty good entries. I have a friend that made insane amount of money. But I was looking at Bitcoin way back in the days when you used to have the Silk Road.
Yeah. Look at STAF, Mitch. Look at STAF. This one looks starting to look really interesting. It had a bunch of VWAP fades, and it's just kind of
tradable for us.
Yeah, it's tradable. Yeah, they added it last night.
Yeah, that one looked good on the VWAP test there from 44.
Yeah, for sure.
It like kind of broke the pattern and it just kind of failed when it went up there. I like that it's at the $4, the whole dollar range. But
yeah.
You see the volume. The volume's kind of just completely died since that last huge candle there.
It's starting to pick up right here, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, there's 390s. Starting to crack. 393. There it goes. Yeah, I stopped getting in on actual low of the day breaks. I just think it wasn't, the risk to reward wasn't good enough for low of the day breaks, because there's just, the chance of it bouncing off of that previous support is just so high,
I'm putting an order out for 399 if it bounces up to 399.
BCRX, Davian. Yeah, BCRX trying here to hold over the VWAP. It's kind of sitting in between now. But yeah, there's STAF bouncing down to these lows.
Oof. Yo, today we
there it goes, brother.
Like seconds away, bro.
I know,
every
man.
Time, bro.
I called this one out. I called it out, man. But I'm not too upset. Like, I saw the VWAP fade. The second VWAP fade up there to, right around 450. I kind of called that one out. But aside from that, this last move didn't really give us an entry. I mean, sure, it broke the low of the day, but it just didn't give us an entry. At least I was correct in my kind of trade idea and my thought process with the pattern. And so that's the most important thing, even if I didn't take advantage of it. I kind of like your bounce idea. If it bounces up to the whole $4 and kind of holds underneath it, it looks decent.
Yeah, that would look good. A bounce to like $3.99, $4. To get risk off of 410.
Right, for sure.
High.
And I mean, I really don't mind holding B-Box too long. Like you said, it's still pretty, I'm still a pretty safe part of the trade. I'm still in a pretty safe part of the trade. Man, they're having a legit debate in here about crypto. And,
I
and
haven't
bid
even.
banks.
My bad, guys. I haven't really been looking at the chat. I've been trying to find some stocks.
Yeah, for sure. They got a big debate going. I don't know who's gonna win. I don't know who's right. I don't know enough about it.
All right, guys. I'm looking at BLIN there. It just failed to get, I think, long again. So I'm looking for it to start failing up here. I don't think it can really get up there to those 380s again. Just that washout just kind of shows me that someone went big short there.
STAF bouncing some here. Look, there's the bounce right up to 398, 397.
That's what we talked about. That's where you would want to take it. And you see how it just
Too quick.
immediately just wishes down.
Yeah, too quick, brother.
Those are everybody doing the same thing we're calling out.
They're just waiting for that
putting
bounce.
Their order. They're putting their orders there, and as soon as it bounces, it fills their order, and then just slaps back down.
Right.
But LEDS, I'm glad I got out of that, guys. You just see that. It's just a bunch of chop. BLIN there went right back there. Guys broke that 53 there. And now I'm making another run there for the highs. This is when you got to just be careful. This stock's just over traded. 22 million shares on a stock that only has 2 or 3 million flotation.
Appreciate the sub, P. Olo. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, Sonic, let me know next time you're going to go long or short. I'll just play the opposite, bud. Sometimes I feel like opening my own brokerage account, my own broker. I'll just take the opposite side. Who wants to trade against me? Oh, look at that on BLIN. Did you see that wick down? Look at that wick down.
Oh, man, look at that.
Size goes in there. These are actually errors, guys. Don't look at these as they're actually correct. They're volatility errors from the server.
There it goes.
But it's sizing. This is called dark pulling. You see how you're not seeing orders go through there, but yet they're just like it's something big's going on there. That's dark pulls. You're not seeing those orders that are going through there right now. What you're gonna see is the whole bunch of the algorithmic volume just start trying to get out there.
For sure.
They notice the volatility there.
Look at BCRX.
But yeah, that's one thing to at least learn for new traders that if you didn't get to see that on BLIN, just really kind of learn on that. It's not necessarily going down there to $3 there. It would be a very, very bad decision just to think that it's just going to crash there, because it can be a hidden seller, a hidden buyer. And that's essentially what I feel it is.
Right.
Because you see the way that the volume is going through there. It's very low volume, but yet it's having huge reactions.
For sure.
That's dark pull.
Appreciate the sub, Crusade Films. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if my boy Steven Ducks is shorting there 47s. That's the spot. Remember, guys,
for sure.
That's the spot.
It's breaking underneath that channel right now too. The channel just broke, and so it's starting to head down. I wouldn't be surprised to look at the general market starting to wash. I see a few stocks starting to. So let's look at the SPY. No, the SPY's actually up, and it's testing the high of the day, pulling back a little bit right around the high of the day.
I took a little bit there, guys. I took a little bit there, 50 shares. I'm willing to risk a little bit. If it pops back up to 365, I'll just get out. But if it just crashes here, I'm willing to at least have something in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at that, guys. This shit's making me laugh. That shit went down to 273. Dude, this shit.
No cursing is what I mean. There you go. There you go.
This is why I went and I just took a little bit of share sizing there, guys.
It looks good though, man. What's your position?
Uh, 339,
Okay, you're going short?
50 shares. Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, it
50
looks good.
shares. Nothing big, just more along. Just if it washes up there on me, it'll be 20, 25 cents. With 50 shares, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's the VWAP is what I think it may bounce off of if it does bounce. But hopefully, it cracks underneath there for you. But I think if it bounces, it's going to bounce around the VWAP. I want to see that previous support turn into resistance around 340.
Yeah, remember the daily high? That's why I went and I took it. Remember, guys, I saw that 347 level, and I feel like someone got really big when it crashed underneath that 347 level again. And this is what traders look for, that resistance short. So they're in big at the resistance now, and they're willing to go ahead and hold at that resistance. If it breaks above that resistance, they'll get out.
Yeah, the SPY starting to tank here pretty hard.
That's a good actually good indication that this could actually just really wash. That helps us, even though these kind of stocks don't really go
Follow the
with the
market.
SPY.
Yeah,
Yeah, it definitely helps. It doesn't hurt. Let's put it that way.
right. But man, BBOX volume's just drying up here. I mean,
I
I'm
think
still
this is where you're gonna see if it's gonna really wash. You want to see kind of really no bounce, and just kind of nobody buying it up anymore, and then just giving out.
right.
There's the bid or there.
All right, so here it goes on BLIN. If it tanks, it could start tanking here. $327, getting close. 325, 326. There it goes. So if it starts tanking, it could start tanking here.
Yeah, I'm not rushing. Just letting it go. If it tanks, it's gonna tank underneath three.
Hey, appreciate the $5 dono, KC. Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate the super chat, man. Really appreciate that, KC Mac. Means a lot, brother. I really appreciate it, man. Appreciate the donation, brother. Yeah, I mean, I've been holding B-Box for a while now. Let's look at the daily here. See how I feel about the daily. Okay, so yeah, it's running into this support it has here. Especially if it cracks under. Okay, look, I got to start watching it now. It just got up to 193. Now it's back down to 191. Big rejection there on BBOX.
321 is a big number to crack there. 320s is going to be a big number to crack on BLIN.
For sure. Yeah, appreciate that, KC Mac. Really means a lot, brother. Really does. Appreciate the support, bro.
All right, guys. I'm actually putting a stop out at 360 just in case I get a
Squeeze.
huge squeeze. Just got to protect myself. That's the area. The breakdown was at 355. Even 357 bounce will be fine, but 360s is not where I wanted to see it get up there. Because then you got the test of the next 365, and then after, if it breaks those 365s, it can easily get back to that 380.
For sure.
But what we're doing is we gave ourselves that small spot. We're in the green right now. What we're looking for is a move to $3. That's what I'm really looking for, that breakdown underneath VWAP. And then when it breaks that VWAP, it can just start fading away for the rest of the day.
Right, get that VWAP fade going.
LEDS there broke down there, guys. Looks like, later on in the day you could have held through that and maybe seen that $5 break again, but it really didn't give you that much of an edge.
Yeah.
So
the volumes just was really slow with it, but it had a few nice little VWAP rejections. Those are VWAP rejections, so not too bad.
Yeah, it could have been a stock where, like, I was in there at 5, and I got these whole bunch of pops to 505, 508. I could have added in that area.
Right.
And risk off of the VWAP, but that's just how it goes, guys. I saw the volume slowing down on this. If I would have seen at least like 15,000, 20,000 shares going through there, probably would have stayed in there.
Right, for sure.
All right, let's see if we get this hard rejection here underneath those 333s. Above 340s, it can really start squeezing again. So Remember, 347 was that area that was, I think, shorted heavily.
All right, so there goes the drop in BBOX. That's really what I was kind of looking for here.
All right. See if you get your move down to that 184, 185.
Yeah, down to the 180. Still trying to give it time here. It's got a lot of support at 189, so that's the level to kind of crack here. Starting to look weaker. Just trying to give myself that chance if it does end up cracking. There's 189 break.
All
Looks
right,
good.
guys, feeling more confident on BLIN there as that rejected there.
Just trying to be patient with my setup here, as Mitch is, I think, as well. See if we can get a continuation here. Start testing these lows down to 184. Corey, how do I set up my windows like this? If you look at the top right of your Thinkorswim, there's going to be a rectangle. You just click that and you can pick how many charts you want to have set up. I have actually have 10 charts set up now. I have 4 on my left monitor and 6 on my right monitor. Okay, so here goes BBOX here, starting to drop down. It's at 187 now. I want to see a continuation and test of these lows is ultimately what I'm looking for. At this point in the trade, I'm pretty comfortable. I have some room. There's 187 break. At this point in the trade, I have a little bit of room here to see if we can break these lows and continue here. And I have a, not a small position, not a large position, only 200 shares. Ultimately looking for it to continue cracking down here. All right, I'm actually going to get out of this trade right now and just take my profit. All right, so I'm out for a $12 gain on that trade, and I'll definitely take that. I probably should have let it test a little bit more, but I'm green on the day, and that's all I really wanted to do is just to get myself back green on the day and have enough patience to wait for it. I'm going to get kind of bummed out if it breaks these lows. The biggest thing I need to work on is holding my winners a little bit longer, and I think especially if it cracks these lows of the day right here, then it's going to continue to tank. And the volume starting to pick up there with that drop as well. And so kind of bummed out. I have to have that resiliency enough to actually let it test the lows. Like, I guess that's the best word for it is I have to be resilient enough in the trade to where I can actually take the time. But I got out for a gain. I'm green on the day. I'll take it. But yeah, Mitch, that's what I got to work on the most, brother.
Yeah, John, one of the keys to help you with that is that you have to sometimes just get your hands off. Get that confidence that your edge.
Right,
At
for
the
sure.
end of the day, you gotta. One of the things is remind yourself what was the original plan. You started you get to that point where it takes too long, so you start trying to change the plan during the trade,
For sure.
and that's not the way it should be.
Right.
We take trades with an already determined risk point, so changing that risk point is what does traders wrong because now you're using the emotions of the trade to determine your risk point.
Right, for sure. I mean, my ultimate plan. Every time I see the VWAP fade, it's a very specific plan here, and the ultimate plan is to get in going short around the VWAP. I also see somebody asking what setup is this. It's the VWAP fade setup. So I look for a bearish pattern, like you can see B-Box is bearish, and then I look for a bounce up to the VWAP.
All right, guys, looking for an ad.
There you go.
330s. 330s would be the ad here, guys.
There you go with BLIN. Looking good, brother. Looking good. This is going to the crucial level.
Pop up to 330s. Pop up to 330s off the BWAP.
Looking good, brother. There it goes.
If I get filled off at you see, this is why I took a small position. Maybe should have been a little bit bigger, but that's fine. I wanted to get some skin in the game, man. So lately, what I've been learning, getting some skin in the game is not gonna hurt you,
Right.
as long as you know how to really manage your risk.
Mr. Chart says you always break your rules. I mean, I didn't really break this rule quite yet. Like I was saying, my ultimate plan with this setup is to let it test the lows, and usually I'll take a partial. Like, my ultimate plan is to take a partial at the lows, and then let the remaining position test the low of the day and possibly break it. And so instead of taking a partial at the lows of the day, I just ended up getting out and taking full profits. And so I didn't necessarily break the rules. I just kind of judged it to where I'd felt more comfortable getting out at the low of the day instead of taking a partial. And so I didn't really break the rules. I'm still happy with this trade. It's kind of exactly what I look for. Bearish trend, bounce up to the VWAP, taking profits at the low of the day test at 185. You can see it bounce back down to 185. And so really it's a picture perfect example of that VWAP fade setup that I use. I could have held on to it.
Great call on staff, man. Look at staff.
Right, for sure.
Look, called that pop up there to $4 there. Now it's down to 367s there.
Oh, for sure.
Risk 10 cents, off for 30 cents there, and you can get more on this breakdown.
Right, for sure.
Guys, for BLIN, this is where some people like to take like that in between spread to make some money. Some people, because I could take like some shares right here and it'll bounce there, add it back. So what I've been learning more is how to take off some of your core position and add some for momentum.
Right, for sure. Yeah, no worries, Mr. Charts. If I did break the rules, I mean, I didn't mean to. I mean, I'm always like I always say, guys.
What rule? What rule though? What specific rule are we talking about here? Because that's better to learn off of. Because we can all learn off of it.
Right.
What specific rule are you speaking of, Mr. Charts?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, like, I'm open to any constructive criticism whatsoever. Like, I respect all the traders here. I'm still a new trader just trying to get a hold of my emotions, which I think is the biggest hurdle in trading, is just to control your emotions. I think statistically and historically, I have found a setup that has an edge. I think this setup definitely has an edge, especially if you look at all the examples of this VWAP fade, whether it be STAF, whether it be BLIN at the open down here. You can see a few nice little VWAP fades. So there's definitely an edge in this setup. You know, I don't know if I broke a rule, but we might have to just agree to disagree. I think I deviated from my original plan, but not necessarily my rule. I mean, my rule is to cut losses quick and to only trade them in a bearish trend, you know. But hey, brother, maybe you're right. No worries, bro.
So what rule is he saying, to like that you cut your profits early?
I'm guessing that's what he was meaning. But I don't consider that a rule break. I just think that was you know, not holding it quite as long as it could be.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was more along trying to get an explanation on. You know, when we talk about breaking rules, we have to know the specific rule and why we don't want to break it. If it's taking profits early, then we can expand on that. But at the end of the day, you have to know like exactly the specific rule that you're trying to keep.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I'm actually proud of that trade though. Like, that was a really good example of a VWAP fade, bearish trend, beautiful bounce up to the VWAP, continuation, took profits at the low of the day where the next most obvious support level would be. And so I think it was a good trade. Got me green on the day, you know.
I'm looking for a hard bounce here to add.
On BLIN.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your entry and what's your average?
339.
339.
50 shares. Looking probably to add here. Just seeing this bounce here, if it's gonna bounce just a little bit more. But I think it's right here, the spot.
Yeah, for sure, NYC. I mean, I think every trader has to reassess, like, in the trade. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with...
Look at that.
What?
Look at BLIN.
Oh, yeah.
Is your chart going absolutely ridiculously insane, or is it
No.
just me?
No, mine's not. I mean, mine's just... I see it hovering around 320.
If you could see mine right now, I think it's a trade net error, but it's going from like down to like 280s up there to 350, right back down to 280s.
Nah, mine's not doing that. You're safe, brother. I think.
Look at Staff, man. Staff,
uh,
bro. That trade would have been beautiful.
hey man,
Beautiful.
I see that we're getting better with these setups, Mitch,
You know
at
what the key
identifying them.
too? The key too is we were looking for that move back to $4, and the reason why it's really good is that there was huge volume on the breakdown of four. Look at the volume, and you see that's what we want to see, guys. The shorters getting in there. It's a huge bid there at 320 there on BLIN. Let's see if it breaks through it. It's huge.
Why would you want to play with something that you have to be very careful with? I mean, I don't think you. I mean, here's the thing. Like penny stocks, sure, there's more risk with any type of short-term trading, and especially with penny stocks. But there's also a bigger potential reward, and so I think if you find setups that actually have an edge, I think it can be a very profitable endeavor to go through. You just have to find setups that have an edge, which I think we definitely have. And so it's just about controlling your emotions. Everybody trades differently. There's fundamental investors, there's crypto investors and traders. There's swing traders that hold overnight. There's swing traders that hold for a few weeks. There's long-term day traders that hold for a few hours. There's short-term day traders that scalp, every 30-second moves and stuff like that. And so every trader's different. It's just about whether you have an edge or whether you don't have an edge. And so, I mean, I take the last 3 weeks, for instance. Like last week was a red week. It was a really tough week just because the volume was low. But the week prior to that was a green week for me, was a profitable week. The week before that was a green week. And then this week thus far, I've had 2 profitable days. And so I definitely think that I have an edge with this setup and strategy that I've been kind of working on. But every trader's different. Not every trader's going to like the setups that Mitch and I get into. Some traders are going to love them. Here you go, Mitch. BLIN breaking down here down to 313.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I did do an ad there at 324. So now my average is 100 shares at 330. Looking to take half profit here if it just breaks down here. I want it to come to 3.
Madison, come here. Are you ready?
All right, so I hope it tanks right here for you, Mitch. It's still pretty extended. It's up from 115 yesterday, so still got some room here, brother.
Yeah, I'm looking for it to break down below this VWAP here.
Yeah, and I mean, days like today just kind of they clarify what works, right? And what works with these setups, Mitch, is volume, right? As long as the market in general has decent volume, that's when the setup works the best. Like STAF, BLIN at the open, BBOX. As long as the stock has decent volume, it doesn't have to be huge. Like obviously BBOX wasn't huge, but it had enough to where it wasn't like you don't see those white candles where it's super choppy. You don't see any gap ups or gap downs. And so as long as the volume is decent and it's in a bearish trend, I think that is when the setup has the most edge. And so it just kind of, it makes me definitely feel more confident in this setup after days like today, where you can see just a lot of VWAP fades and a lot of VWAP rejections.
I
All
want to
right.
see above my number there.
Yeah, bouncing up to 320s. You're still safe in the trade for the most part, relatively safe. I mean you're never safe, don't get me wrong, but you got some resistances above you that'll allow you to get out for minimal loss.
Yep. All right, guys. After that rejection, above 330s will get me out. So I'll just take above the the average if it does get above 330s. But I'm looking for it to come back down and test that VWAP.
Right, for sure. There's the bounce to 330. Um, yeah, Davian says good setup. I like the VWAP fade. Yeah, it's really reliable in this market where, um, whenever the volume's good, the stock's in a bearish trend. I mean, there's a few different things that have to happen in order for me to really want to get into it. And it has to, the biggest thing,
Wow.
it has to be in a bearish trend. Yeah, you should have still made some money on that trade though, huh?
Nah, it's just another one of those LADS.
Nah, don't worry
It's
about it,
how it
brother.
goes. I mean, I could have took profits, at 314s, 315 areas and made, $15. But this is a stock that again that I'm trying to position myself. I lost $2.50 here, guys. Um, just positioning myself correctly can get me a nice win there. If
Right.
it breaks down underneath those 312s there, we're heading to the $3 range, and I'm able to take half profit there, $20, and can give it the rest of the day to really break down.
Right.
Um,
You gave yourself the shot. You know what I mean?
and that's what I'm looking for. If I lose and it's because I gave myself in great positions over and over and over and over again, then I'm going to be more than satisfied with my trading, and I can honestly, it sounds dumb, but sleep easy. You
Right.
know, it's when you make those completely against your strategy trades
Right.
or chases or stuff like that. That's when you're gonna really get you upset.
For sure. Mr. Chart says, that is what I meant. I don't know how you trade with no fixed stop, target, or partial prices. Well, I don't use a hard stop, but I mean, I do have a target. Like, if I've kind of gone over the setup, but whenever I get in on the VWAP fade, my target is always at the low of the day. So in this case, it was 184, and in this case, I got out at 185. So right around my target, my stop was set at the next support or resistance area. So in this case, it was 198. And so that's where I would have gotten out before the possible squeeze of $2. And so I did have a set stop, mental stop area, and a set target price. And I typically, with the VWAP fade, it's kind of the same thing every time. Sometimes I'll take a partial at the low of the day and see if it will continue to test the low and break down under it, and then I'll cover the rest much later. But most of the time, my target price is at the low of the day, and my mental stop is just over it. So like for instance, I got in at 193 or 192. My stop would have been at 198. So that's a 6 cent stop, and my goal would be down to 184. So my possible reward is about 9 cents, and my possible risk is only about 6 cents. And so it's better than 1-to-1 risk to reward, and that's ultimately why I like this setup, is because it has a good risk reward with it. But I do notice all those things. Like, I do notice where I'm going to exit, where my target is at the low of the day, and so forth and so on. And so I try to do that with every trade, and it's kind of the same thing every time with the VWAP fade. Kind of that same type of low of the day price target, stop set at the next support or resistance above it, if that makes sense.
About fixed stops, I definitely don't believe in having fixed stops, but I do believe in having targets and partials. What I look for is I try to get partials on supports or resistance. So I'm looking for a touch to the resistance or support, and that's when I should be taking my target at my first half, and then I look for a breakdown to the next support area or the next resistance if I'm long.
I mean, no, Mr. Charts. I mean, I disagree. No worries. You're not being difficult, brother. Every trader's different. But like I said, you put out STAF stop at 360, BBOX stop at 198. Uh, my entry was 192, and my target was 184. And so I did have all of those things, brother. That's kind of what I do with every trade, is very, very even though I don't call them out, like that's my initial plan. I actually have a video on why I set my price target there, why I set my risk at that certain point you know
You see those shares going through there at 274 for BLIN?
What
Do
was
you
that,
get
brother?
that on your
Sorry.
level two? On your level twos, do you get 274s going through there for BLIN?
No.
I get it on my time in sales. I get a whole bunch of sales in the
Here,
270s, the
let me
260s.
look at my BLIN.
It's just weird.
Yeah, no, the only two I see is on the bid all the way at the bottom at 281.
Yeah, I see like a whole bunch of sales in the level two, 274, 271. That's weird.
All right, so I'm probably done for the day, guys. I doubt I'll
Yeah,
get
I'm
into
done
anything
too.
else here. So,
I was, I'm done also, man. I'm not gonna stream, so.
all right, guys. Well, yeah, no worries, Mr. Charts. I think I will try to work on having a little bit more set plan, but I don't think I don't think I'm entering it without a plan. I have a set stop area that I'm gonna get out. Just because I don't set a mental stop or a hard stop doesn't mean I don't have a mental stop, which I do. And I have a price target as well. And so I think I have a plan, but we can agree to disagree, brother. No worries, man. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close the stream down now. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I day trade live on stream every weekday morning, starting at 8:45 a.m. And I usually stream until about 10:15, 10:30, but I streamed an extra hour today. So nice to have a small green day, although it is very small. And make sure you click the like button if you want to help support this channel. I really appreciate all the support and the $5 dono today. So I appreciate the donation, guys. And yeah, good luck for the rest of the day. I'll see you all later. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, Mitch, have a good one, brother.
Later, brother.